Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Boston Posher on Instagram and Poshmark, and thanks so much for watching my video. Today I'm going to talk about how I list. I'm a very part-time reseller. I'm a student. I also have a full-time internship. I also dog walk and I babysit for multiple families regularly. But reselling is like my favorite thing to do. Like in my busy schedule, reselling is my favorite part of it. It's my creative outlet. It's fun. I love everything about it. But with that being said, when you are super part-time, you need to utilize your time very strategically. You need to make sure you are using it in the correct way, because I've definitely used my time in the incorrect way and have failed. So after a lot of trial and error, I've come up with a system that really works for me as a part-time seller to get a good amount of listings up, but not take a super big chunk of my time, which is amazing. So today I'm going to kind of walk you through the whole process of what I do and how I use different features from Poshmark, how I use my time, how I clump everything together, that whole thing. So yeah, let's get started. So my time is basically like I have Saturday, late afternoon, evening, and then all of Sunday to do Poshmark stuff. So what normally happens is I will either source on a Sunday, and then I won't get to that stuff till the following week, or I'll source on a Saturday afternoon, and then I will use that inventory and use that for the weekend to list. So say I've already gotten my inventory, it's a Saturday evening, now what do I do? So Saturday evening, I have all my stuff. This weekend I had 28 items that I had to basically start to finish get from point A, which is like nothing done with them, to point B, which is like listed inventory, put away, all that stuff. So the first step is to measure them. And this is my first step because it's my least favorite part of listing. I hate measuring, it hurts my back, it's not exciting. I really like Poshmark for the creative stuff. I'm not a huge numbers person. I like the creativity side of it. So when it comes to anything with numbers or more like paperwork, not paperwork, but more like, God, what's the word? More wordy stuff. I don't know. Okay, so whatever. So measuring is not my favorite part whatsoever, but it's super important because one, it helps me because when I get all my numbers done, that if people have questions about measurements, it's already there and I don't have to answer it. And if they still do ask about it, I can just look in the post and like repeat to them what is in the post, the listing already. So numbers are super important to have, even though they're not fun. So Saturday evening, I spent an hour measuring 28 different items. For pants, I measure waist, rise, and length. For shirts, dresses, jackets, I measure bust and I measure length. And then for shoes, I measure heel if there is any. If it's flats, I don't measure it, but even if it's like a little bit of like a platform sandal, I'll still measure that. So I took all of those those measurements. I took all of those measurements. And then I also take all my fabric content at that time too. So I'm going to show you something. This is my inventory sheet that I posted about on my Instagram before. So if you follow me on there, you might be familiar with this. I posted it a couple months ago. But it's a sheet that looks like this. And basically it's 10 different sections, and that can be used for 10 different listings. So this is what I put all my measurements on. So when I'm doing my measurements, I start off, I take out the item and I will write the item's name. So I'm gonna say like a Madewell embroidered peasant top. I'll write the size. I'll write what condition it is in, and the condition options are good, great, excellent, new without tags, and new with tags. Those are the different levels I use. And usually, like, if it's good, I'm like, good condition, minor wear. If it's great, great condition, barely, like, little to little, barely any wear, excellent, like, no signs of wear, all that stuff. Then I do details. Details are usually, like, something funky, like, if it has, like, a low back or something like just, like, a detail that I should definitely include in the listing. I include the fabric content, and then after that is where I put the measurements. This is super helpful because this is my measurements, but it also doubles as like the label that I put in my inventory bags, which I really like because I feel like I have all the information and I don't have to create like another set of labels. I know some people's inventory systems have numbers and like letters and stuff like that. That doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I'm not a numbers person, I'm a visual person, so this works for me really well. So I will do all of this at once. So when I measure measure, write all the information, done, move on to the next one. So for 28 items, this whole process took about an hour. So once I'm done with the measurements and filling out this, I will then use the draft feature on Poshmark. This is a new feature, and this is actually the first time I've used it. So it was kind of like a trial and error situation. I did find out a couple things while using it. One, you do have to have a photo included in your draft. I originally thought that I just would make a draft, not include any photos, put those photos in later, which is still something I do, but you do need to have like a filler photo. So what I just made up a little like stock photo. It just said photos coming soon. In the off chance that my draft was accidentally listed and I didn't realize it, that way it won't just look as like a really rough thing. It still has all the information because I will put this information in with the draft, but it has photos coming soon, so it looks a little bit cleaner. So you do need to have a photo for your draft. Second thing is you can only have 15 drafts going at a time. This was not something I knew. I was a little disappointed in that because I did want to have all 28 drafts in one, but that's okay. That's just part of it, and I will accept that, and I will work around that. So I made 15 drafts, and basically what I did with the draft is I have a template that I use for all of my listings. So I copy and pasted that template, filled in all the information from this sheet, filled in all the rest of the listing, like right down to the price, and then I just saved it as a draft. So when I have photos ready, I can just pop those photos in, list, and I'm done. So that was a draft feature. I did that. So yeah, 30 to 40 minutes to do 15 drafts, which is not that bad for me because like I had all the information already filled out. So if I was like focused, which I'm not a huge focus person, I do get easily sidetracked, but I, was able to go in, fill out the information, move on to the next one, and I really liked that because I hate listing too. And I really liked doing the stuff I like the least first because then I was like, okay, once I get this done, it's just fun from here on out. So got 15 drafts done. I was really happy about that. This was all done on Saturday evening because Sunday is when I have the lighting. And my Sunday morning light I love. It just comes in at a really nice angle. I'm just not home in mornings other days of the week, so this is really important for me. So on Sunday morning, I got up and I steamed. First thing I did was steam. I steamed all the items except for like shoes, or I have like a big puffy jacket, but I probably steamed about like 22 items. That took around an hour. I have a really small steamer, so I had to refill it about 5 times, which kind of sucks, but that is how it is. It's small and portable, and it's really handy, so it's okay, I don't mind. So steamed 22 items. That did take about an hour. They all came out good. And then on to the listings. So for listings, I start with photographs. Now I wasn't doing any of my shoes or my one bag. So that was 6. So I had 22 items to photograph on my wall. And that took about an hour long. I take a good amount of pictures. I'm pretty picky. I like to, make sure that like I'm nitpicky about it. I like tweak them and all that stuff. Like around an hour to just do the wall photographs. So I did those 22 wall photographs. Then I went on and I edited all of them. So I edited all of those photographs. And then when all those were edited, the editing took about, I want to say 45 minutes too. So after all that editing was done, saved it to my camera roll and everything, and then I went to my drafts and I found the 15 drafts that were already made up, and I added the photos, and that literally took like 15 seconds. I literally went in, added all the photos, deleted that one filler photo, listed, and it was done. It was so easy. So if you're not using the draft feature and you like to do your stuff in batch work, then I definitely recommend using it. So yeah, like 15 seconds and a listing was up, and that made my life so much easier. So within like 10 minutes, I had 15 listings up, which was incredible. So have those 15 listings up. The next step was to create listings for the other 7 pieces that I had taken pictures of on the wall. So I typed those listings up. That took about 5 minutes, adding photos and everything, and then I got those listed. So within, let's do some math here. So I want to say like within like 30 minutes, I had all of my listings up, which was awesome. Felt so good. So, well, all the 22 listings that I had taken against the wall. The next step for me was to take my modeling pictures. I don't think I don't think it's necessary to model your clothing. I didn't do it for a while, but I have noticed that some pieces are difficult to like get a good shot of or understand how they fit on a human, and I've never liked using my mannequin. So because I just feel like it's so stiff, it doesn't move like a human. I like showing the movement in a piece. So I do model some of my photos. So I did my modeling shots. I'm trying to think. I probably modeled about 15 of the pieces. I did those. I edited those. I added those in. That probably took around an hour all around. Altogether it took an hour because I'm pretty picky about my modeling shots too. I usually take like 20 pictures per clothing item. Actually, probably more than 20. I probably did like 40 because I just use my little Bluetooth remote with my tripod, so that really helps. So I did that, got those pieces in. So now there are 22 items that are fully complete with modeling shots, totally listed, photos and everything. They're good to go. Now I have 6 left because those were the shoes and the one bag I had, because I don't take those against the wall, I take them on the floor in a flat lay. So I put my white blanket down, put my shoes down, put my my orange flower down, and I took those shots. Probably took about 30 minutes to get those photos, and then I edited them, then I drafted them, then I didn't draft them, I typed up their listings, and I got those listed. That probably was about another 40 minutes. So, doing math over here. I'm going to do math later because I didn't keep track of that, but it'll tell you over here the number of hours I put in to this for 28 listings. And this was the fastest process for me in getting all of this stuff listed. Listing is a lengthy process. It doesn't seem like it ahead of time, but when you really get down to it, from sourcing the item, measuring it, seaming it, photographing it, writing down information about it, creating the listing, editing the photos, modeling it too, it takes a lot. So this is the fastest process for me. 28 listings in less than 24 hours is pretty good for me. I really usually only get like 12 to 15 up in a weekend. This weekend was different because I had 4 trips worth of clothing. Not because I was being lazy, because I was so busy and I only have weekends, and I had a weekend in between that was totally committed to a friend. So that is my process for listing. I really believe in batch work. I believe in doing stuff in chunks. So I believe in doing all your measurements together, all your drafts together, except for the 15 draft limit, doing all your steaming together, all your photographing together, all your modeling shots together, all your editing together. Mine was broken up because I have 2 different spots to do it, and that was probably something I could do more together, but since it's like kind of broken up, it didn't affect me too much. But batch work is seriously so critical to me getting all my stuff done. If I tried to do one thing measured, then photograph it, then edit it, then list it, I would get through 5 before I was burnt out. That's just how my energy level works. I can do everything in a clump. I can't just keep going back and forth. I needed to be all at one time, moving on to the next thing. So yeah, that's how I list. Let me know if you think this is a good way to list, if you do it differently. I'd love to have a conversation about it. But that's just how I do it. That's how it's most productive for me. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching my video. I really, really appreciate it, and I would love if you subscribed or give a thumbs up or comment or whatever you can do. I really appreciate it, and thank you just so much just for even watching my video. It means so much to me. Alright, have a great day, guys. Bye!